a lot to cover within this limited time that we are having, previewing the case study, proposed solution to precinct case study. This is going to be part 3. For those of us that are not part of the part 1, do yourself a bit of good by looking at the part 1. We dealt with the introductory part and we look at John's role. John's role basically can come in form of a question. Actually, we give you a knowledge and overview of everything about Adalat. Adalat is the company in the precinct, Adalat Product Nigeria Limited. So having said that, we had earlier dealt with key areas, but now we want to conclude on the key areas. So it's good for us to know where we are coming from so that we will know where we are going through. So we had earlier dealt with John's role, like we said. So John's role has been dealt with. If you are not here before, please look at this. This video is going to help you to understand the critical information given to us as regards this precinct case study. Also, we dealt with the operational and strategic business units and the proposal aspect of it, which can come as a question. So please do yourself a good. Most likely, if I remember, I will put it in the description below, but I hope to remember because there are a lot of things to deal with, as you know. Now we are going to look at the financial analysis. The sustainability reporting also was dealt with in part 2. Okay, so the part 2 was short, was just a 9-minute video. We dealt with sustainability. So we've taken 3 out of the way. Now we'll be looking at the financial analysis and reporting questions around it, which can be in form of a question like, provide an example of financial analysis that John might conduct. How does John assess the financial statement? Explain the process of drafting reports of the group financial director. Then we will move on to look at other key areas which we had not dealt with. We hope to finish in this video. Now we will start by looking at the Nigerian economy and business environment. In this one now, we will be tackling presumably some questions like, describe the challenges and opportunities in Nigeria economy and business environment. How might these challenges and opportunity impact Adalat Product Nigeria Limited? Then we move on to the rest and we will conclude hopefully in this video without wasting our time. But it is important for us to reiterate the expectation of the institute for you to pass this examination. You are expected to assimilate and use the information, and that is why if you quickly want to grasp what's the detail about this precinct case study, you need to go back to the first video that we did. We tell you everything you need to know and John's role and the business unit in form of sustainability in part 2. Then also the structure of your problem, of the problem and the solution you are preferring. You will not have problems. Sorry, that was not what I meant. How you structure the solution to the problem you are profiling solution to in the question, you will give you 20%. You are expected to score another 20% if you are able to apply your judgment, professional judgment. Then you must draw a conclusion and make recommendation. And I told us earlier that when we are drawing conclusion, please always remember to tie your conclusion to the objective. Okay, then demonstrate integrative and multidisciplinary skills. And usually I used to tell us Don't forget your costing knowledge. Don't forget your communication skill knowledge. Don't forget your financial reporting knowledge and the like. They are all useful now at this stage. Now, how you present appropriate appendices, references, and the like will give you the remaining 10%. So we move on now to the business of the day. We'll be continuing from a proposed question which you could be asked about the Nigerian economic and business environment, the challenges and the opportunities. Let's quickly look at it as we move on. Nigeria is over-reliant on oil, even based on the preceding question that we were given. Nigeria is over-reliant on oil. Also, economic diversification in Nigeria has been a bit of struggle for the Nigeria economy to achieve. So lack of diversification makes it difficult for Nigeria to actually be seen when it comes to the global oil price volatility, when it comes to FDI, when it comes to the global competitiveness. Then we can talk about corruption. Of course, corruption is always everywhere in the world, but it is peculiar to Nigerian economy and is affecting the economy too. Political instability, mention it. You can discuss about infrastructural deficiency that Nigeria is having. You can discuss about regulatory environment. Regulatory environment is having challenges, always up and down and the like. We go back and forth, just like we have the currency now. We have new currency before. Now we are using both the old and the new in the same economy, going back and forth. So regulatory environment is not stable. Those are part of the challenges that you will find in the preceding case study. Nevertheless, when we have challenges, there will always be opportunity. So what are the opportunities that you could find in the case study? You must mention it as it relates to the Nigerian economy. And one of it is that large and growing opportunity. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people, and this is a huge market by any comparative. When we are talking about UK population, it is 60 million people currently, the whole of United Kingdom. Nigeria is 200 million. So you could imagine the market that is in Nigeria alone. So sell it to your examiner. Agriculture, sell it to Nigeria. There is a big opportunity in Nigeria for agriculture. We have arable land. Government reforms, they are doing a bit but not doing enough, right? So mention it. Investment in infrastructure, mention it, especially for adults if they want to diversify into it. Snapshotting because I can't go into detail of even my notes because of our time, but I want to give as much as possible help and assistance to everybody that is sitting for these exams. Non-oil sector, agricultural initiative, global trade opportunity, they are all there within the Nigerian economy. So we try to deal with the opportunity and the challenges. Now, a question can ask you to explain the key factors affecting the Nigerian economic outlook for 2023 or for any year for that matter. If a question comes like this, some of the things you can mention is global economic condition. Global economic condition. plays a significant role in Nigeria economic outlook. Take for example, when there was downcast in US and the the housing the housing industry went down, it affected the whole economy of the world. I want to believe that should be around 2008. So what goes around comes around. You can equally talk about oil price and production. Nigeria is a major oil producer, right? So any fluctuation affects the Nigerian projection in form of economic outlook. Security challenges everywhere. I don't need to overflog that. Government policies and reforms may be better than we have it and may stimulate the economic growth or hinder it, as the case may be. Infrastructure and energy. We need more light, we need electricity and the like. Foreign direct investments outlook. If everything we've been mentioning before, if they are not on ground, then we should not be talking about FDI. If we do not have infrastructure, if there are security challenges, if government policies are not stable and the like, foreigners will not come to invest in Nigeria, right? So it will affect the economic outlook. You can talk about political stability or instability, as the case may be. All these marshal onto your examiner in some key points and move on. We can talk about inflation and monetary policy. Now, like I was telling us in part one, case study always deals with things that are happening around us. So case study sometimes is not difficult to pass if we are sensitive to our environment. Okay, now we know what the price in the market is saying all over the nation. So inflation and monetary policy outlook. So the better the central bank is able to curtail inflation, the better economic outlook Nigeria will have. Diversification of efforts, maybe into agriculture, maybe into mining and things like that, will better aid the economy. Demographic and workforce. Nigeria is demographically strong when it comes to youthful, and the percentage of youth is very high within the 200 million population. So demographically and workforce, Nigeria is strong and it presents a good economic outlook. Then global economic trend. When it comes to global economic trend, well, you can your answer may be in different way, both positive and negative. Technological wise, we are not really there. Environmental wise, we are not really there because there are security challenges. Then you will shift to consumer preferences. We are not really there because production is not really doing fine. But there are some other that we can do, we can perform better, and you can marshal some aspects of global economic trend, because when it comes to the aspect of services, Nigeria is doing better. When it comes to exportation of human power, Nigeria is doing fantastically well all over the world. So the outlook is both positive and negative, and if you are able to pull it together like that, you will score genuine mark, because that means you are critically reviewing the economic future of Nigeria. Now another question can be in form of, how can the company Adalat now adapt to the changing economic landscape? And it's very good that this question now is proposed after we had looked at the economic outlook of the nation as a whole. Now let's look at the adaptation mechanism for Adalat. Don't forget that Adalat is an agricultural organization and is a conglomerate. Diversification of the product portfolio, you can talk about it because the question is, how can the company adapt to the changing economic landscape? And don't forget too that you must not restrict your answer to Nigerian economy alone, because we have 72 branches all over the world. Don't forget that, especially for those that are joining us in the part 3 of this discussion. We had earlier laid all those emphasis and foundation that we've grown from 1 to 2 to 72 branches. We are not going to overflow that. Market expansion. Adalat can explore new markets and new regions, both domestically and internationally. I will move on. Value addition. Value addition, unlike the Adalat just having the crude, let's say cassava production, cotton production, cashew production, all those were mentioned in the first video. Those are some of the products. But can Adalat refine it? Can we have value addition to it? You know, when we produce, when we sell raw, organization that sells raw material, they make less money. But the organization that refines, just like crude oil, those that extract and sell crude oil raw, just like Nigeria, make less money. But those that refines it and now sell it, they make more money. So those that refine it and we make more money than those that are just extracting it. So in the case of Adalat too, you can talk about value addition to the commodity that they are making, that they are producing rather. Supply chain efficiency. We had earlier looked at supply chain too, and I remember that I circled it for us. Now we can talk about supply chain efficiency. You can include backward integration and forward integration into the components of your argument and discussion in your answer. Investments in technology. The more technology-wise the Adalat business operations are, the better efficient they become. So Masha, the point also. Then you can talk about sustainability initiative in form of the grains. That is, I don't want to go too technical, so I'm trying to choose my word. Sustainability initiative in form of ensuring that we do not damage the ecosystem around us when we are doing our farming and the agricultural work. Then risk management. Risk management, there are a lot of risk in the organization. Even the objective may be hampered due to some risk that we've mentioned before. Now, when Adelates, especially you as John, try to have a risk assessment conducted and the uncertainty within the business environment and the industry and how you can hedge it, adaptation will be better for Adalat. You can talk about government engagement. You can talk about research and development. You can talk about adaptive leadership. You can talk about environmental and social responsibility. You can talk about engagement with local community, and this is very germane. I'm moving on because of our time, I want us to end this discussion with this video. I hope you will agree with me, because by that we will have had roughly almost at least 2 hours plus. I don't want it to be more than 2 hours plus with part 1, part 2, and this one. Having said that, we are moving on into another question that may come out. Describing the state of agricultural business in Nigeria based on the case study. Now, if you look at the format of some of the answers I've given and the talks, you will see that they are not centered on Nigeria alone. But now, this is a particular question telling you that you should narrow your discussion down now to the Nigerian economy, describing the state of agricultural business in Nigeria based on the case study. So you need to understand and have assimilation of the points that have been given to you in the case study narrative for you to be able to answer such a question. But thanks to GJAMES Associate, now you have some things that you can work with. So part of what you can say about Nigeria agricultural environment is that significant agricultural potential. Nigeria has significant agricultural potential in form of abundant arable land, fertile land, natural resources, conducive climate. That is a very strong. You can talk about government initiative if you like. You can talk about agricultural products if you like, and give some crops that they cannot find anywhere else in the world, like cashew. Nigeria produces a lot of cashew, a lot of cocoa. So the company is also engaged in rice farming and milling operations. So this is a good description of agriculture as it relates to Adalat and relates to Nigeria. Of course, challenges in agricultural sector, you can mention it, which we've done before. So you will see that this question now is a question that combines the first 2 questions. It combines the first 2 questions. So it's an annual event, an occurrence, an experience in the lives of farmers in Nigeria rather. And you could measure it. They produce, they harvest only for it to rotten away. Is part of the description of agricultural business. You can, in Nigeria, you can discuss about reliance on smallholder farmers. And if small farmers, that is little a plot of land, 2 plots of farm here and there, there's limit to which they can feed the nation, and it's going to affect how Adalat can harvest or can increase and expand. Agricultural initiative, not that too much, you can mention it. Economic impacts of agriculture. Agriculture is contributing significantly in Nigeria in the 6 geopolitical zones. Sustainability and food security. Of course, we have food security, but there are some products that are not really sufficient, like rice. We are still importing rice because our production is not sufficient. So these are some description that you could make when it comes to a question like this for Nigeria agricultural environment. What challenges and opportunities are associated with the agricultural sector in Nigeria? We are going to move on because I earlier dealt with this question. Now, describe the company's strategic focus and differentiation strategy. Adalat Products Nigeria Limited outlines its strategic focus on the pages of that case study precinct. Now, let's look at some of them. 1. Meeting customers' preference. It is stated in bold that Adalat loves to meet customers' preference. And I told us in part 1 that he will study the hands-off business growth model, and in particular Michael Porter's generic business model seems to be the question that most likely will come out. Michael Porter's generic model, which students of CSME will have known and have advantage to take here, and that is what we are looking at now. So because when we are talking about leadership in choosing business is part of Michael Porter's theory, and also the theory of differentiation, which I'm going to come across. So I've given us 2 models now to look at and study more, or you can, I'm not sure I will be able to remember when I'm linking, but if I remember, we have a video on this channel already. I'm going to link it for us to be able to just click, go and check answer business growth and do a quick study on Michael Porter's generic business model. The 2 videos are on GJAMES associate platform. Okay, having said that, balanced capital allocation is another strategic focus, and that Adalat use. Global presence. Adalat has global presence by having at least 72 branches across the world. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted because the call just came. So now let's look at what differentiates Adalat business. Because they focus on satisfying customer, they have differentiation in offering healthier and customized products to their customer, which gives them advantage. So this is a unique differentiation strategy that Adalat is using. Another one is reliability and traceability of their product. So their product is traceable to them, unlike some businesses that they will not tag their products, no branding, no anything that comes out of Adalat environment, you will know that it is the product of Adalat. So if there are any issue, you can easily trace it to them, which is a differentiation strategy. Sustainability too, they have a strategy in it because they ensure as much as possible that sustainability, their environmental footprints are reported. Don't forget, that is one of the job role of John that we had earlier dealt with in part 2 of the video. For those that are just joining us or may not know me, this is Gbenga Olatunji FCA that has been talking to you from GJAMES Associates. We pride ourselves that we are value to life, we are value to your businesses, we are value to your academics and professional career. Adalats also have strengths and differentiation in innovation and customization. They do their thing in their own way. That when you see it, you notice that this is Adalat's products. Just like the institute have some expectation towards this examination, we have expectation that you succeed in this course in particular and all the courses that you may be offering. And another expectation as we proceed to how does the company aim to achieve its sustainability goal. We are going to like you to like the video. We are going to like you that you subscribe. We are equally expecting that you share this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend about GJAMES Associates. Now let us move on to another question on how does the company aim to achieve its sustainability goal. First of all, operational impact on sustainability. So, Adalat recognizes that its operational ability can have material impact on the farmland, on the environment, and the like. So, the company is committed to integrate sustainability into its day-to-day business operations. Also, innovative sustainability insights platforms, which they have as regards their supply chain and the like, all the parameters they have. Also, collaborative partnership, you could find it in the pre-seen case study that we are actually treating. Also, metrics and reporting they have on ground. Data and technology, they are doing a bit better on it. Also, they can achieve the aim of their sustainability by deploying supply chain in a transparent manner. Also, continuous improvement. If there is anything you must remember, please, if a question like this comes out, please remember to put continuous improvement. Whether you had mentioned the operational impact on sustainability, innovation, collaborative effort, metrics, data and technology, supply chain, all these are fantastic. But if they did not continue, or they will not rather continue to improve, they are not innovative, then they will get stuck. So this is a key point for you to hammer. Another question that most likely may come out. Now we are getting to our domain, right? Analyze the financial statements for the year 2019 to 2021. And like I told us when we started in part 1, during the exams, the 2022-2023 financials will be given. We were not given now, so we could not treat it. But expect that they are going to be given, especially 2022 accounts will be given. No, now how are we going to analyze the financials? You can look at the income statement and analyze it. And these are some of the things I'm able to deduce from the financial analysis. The revenue growth. The revenue is growing. It's growing from 2019 to 2020 from 32, almost 33 million to 35 million, and a further 47 in 2021. It may grow or decline in 2022, which we could not see, but may be giving you during the exam. Now, what you need to do in your analysis, more than what we are able to say here now, is that though it's growing, it may be declining or starts to decline in 2022 and 2023. But those are not the issues. The issue now is, though it's growing, what is making it to grow? Don't just stop at they are growing, they are declining, and the like. Almost everybody can see that, right? But what is the driver? What is driving the business revenue growth? You must be able to measure it. Now also, the gross profit margin as calculated decreases, but improved in 2021. Most likely is going to increase in 2022. So you need to know. So the fluctuation of gross profit margin should be carefully monitored. Don't forget, monitor it. Know why do we have gross profits fluctuation. You see that the cost of sales is not properly, cost of sales is not properly managed or what. Then operating expenses increased over the 3 years. So it is essential now for you during the exam to analyze the components. As you can see, we cannot have time to analyze the components here. But you, please analyze some of the components. During the exam, you may not be able to analyze everything, but analyze some of the components. Okay? That is the expense line items. Coming to profit before tax now. Profit before tax actually was increasing, and it increases in 2019, 2020 to 2021. It actually jumped. So we need to know, why is profit before tax increasing? Net profit equally reported, and it was increasing and significantly in 2021. So it increased, maybe because of COVID, right? But you need to know and give them the point, why is it increasing? Then when we want to analyze balance sheet, which we call statement of financial position now, right? The total assets increased. So why is the total assets increasing? You need to give them that point. I've done a bit of work for us now, and I'm telling us what we need to fine-tune before the exam or during the exam. Current assets increasing. Why is it increasing? Say as a result of expansion and the like, increased investment and the like, you need to establish it and measure the point. Total liability increased also. Why is liability increasing? Are we highly geared? This implies higher borrowing, and potentially it could be dangerous to the organization's health, because bankruptcy may be inevitable. So these are the ways you need to answer case study when it comes to summarization of consolidated financial statement. And please don't make a mistake if during the exam they bring a unit, SBU, strategic business unit, which we discussed in part 1. If they bring maybe one of the units financial to you, please don't analyze it. They just want to confuse you, because the organization you are dealing with is a group. So you need to analyze the group accounts, not the subsidiary accounts. I hope we understand. Please don't let them confuse you along that line. Equity now, attributable to the real shareholder, increasing. Why is it increasing? Do we have more allotments of share, or do we have debtor shareholders that are paying and the like? You need to be able to say why it's increasing. Non-controlling interests. These are for the minority. Is stable. Why is it stable? You need to be able to give it to them. Liquidity and insolvency. Then overall analysis. This is important because you must conclude on your analysis. Said AP or ADALAT, as we are used to now, financial statement review, revenue growth, and improving profitability over the years. Don't forget we have a bit of fluctuation there, but overall now. However, the increase in the total liability should be closely monitored to ensure it does not affect the company's solvency and long-term financial stability. If not, liquidation will be inevitable. Furthermore, it's essential to understand the drivers of increased operating expenses. You see, those are the things that I've told us here. Please make sure you do some of the workings around here before you go for the exams. It is important to note that a more detailed analysis will require understanding of the company's industry. That is cooperative now. Its business model, which I informed us to check, answer business growth, and what other one did I say? Do you remember? Professor Michael Porter's generic model. So those two business models, quickly review it on GJAMES Associates platform for CSME. You will find them there, because with this precinct we are looking at, most likely that aspect of question most likely will come out. Another question that may come out is, what are the key financial indicators and trend in these financial statements? Now we are dealing with proposed solution to the financials. Some of the key indicators. Now we have the revenue growth. It was increasing. We have profitability as an indicator. We have net profit increasing substantially. On the side of balance sheet, we have this trend, right? I want to move quickly because of our time. So those are the financial indicators and trends. And when we are talking about trends, we are talking about comparability from 2019 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022, most likely if you are given 2023, which I don't know now. So these are some of the indicators you have to talk about. Overall, the key financial indicators and trend of Adalat financial statement reflect positive revenue growth and improvement in profitability, with some concerns related to increased borrowing, which I earlier mentioned under our liability. Potential costs challenge also is there. So it is essential for the company to monitor this trend, especially under our P or L now. We need to monitor our administrative expenses, and we need to look out for the liabilities and monitor our borrowing. These are some of the recommendations you could make when you are writing your exams. I'll come back shortly. So let us wrap up now. And please, if you've been following, don't be tired. The next 5 minutes will be done with. But this is very important aspect. I want to believe that you subscribe to GJAMES Associates, you've liked this video, you've shared it. These are the expectations from us to you, just like the expectation of the institute towards you. And fundamentally, our overall expectation is that you succeed, and your overall expectation should be that GJAMES Associate to succeed. And those are the things you can do for us: like, share, comment, subscribe. Now, the overall aspect of this precinct case study now is this. We were given John to be a real principal person in the case study. Of course, he has a boss, but the key person in this precinct case study is John. And when you are writing your exams, please continue to mention John. That shows the examiner and the marker that you've actually read through the case study. Now, it was presented to us as the system and control accountant, and we've dealt with his role in part 1, right? Okay, so the organization is a group company. It's a group company, and John has a group finance director as his boss and several board members. John has responsibilities. Some of these responsibilities have been dealt with, and that is why it's important for you to check the first video, the second video, which is part 2, and this the part 3 video. Take your time. It's like 2 hours now. If you can spare it, I guarantee your success. I have never failed case study, and I've been trying over the years with testimony. People are not failing case study, advanced audit and assurance. They are all guaranteed. CSME, they are all guaranteed. Okay, so the case study also offers information about Nigerian economy, business environment, history of Adalat and the like. You can ask, why are all these important? These are the key information that you need to coin into your answer to let them know that you actually read and comprehend. Having said that, in answering this whatsoever question that will now come out, even though these are some of the proposed area that we've looked at. Your knowledge of the role and responsibility of John is important. Don't forget, we dealt with it. Analyzing the financial data which we just finished on is important. Evaluate operational and strategic proposal for the business unit, which we dealt with in part 1 of this video. Sustainability and reporting, which in the part 1 I told us to check a live video which I did on sustainability reporting and sustainability accounting, and also part 2 of this video actually dealt with sustainability, answering sustainability. So please check part 2 of this video. This is part 3. Check part 2 for knowledge of sustainability reporting that we are dealt with for specifically for this case study. Also, the Nigerian economic environment, which we had dealt with in this particular video, is important for you to know and understand. Strategy and differentiation, which we just finished, and I recommended 2 models that you should check. You can check it on GJAMES Associates CSME. Try to understand hands-off business growth, hands-off business growth, and also Michael Porter's generic model. Either of the 2 is most likely one will come to test this aspect of the case study, and they are both in your syllabus under CSME, Corporate Strategic Management and Ethics. So that is why all those subjects in the syllabus are interwoven. The financial statement analysis, don't forget to check it, and those aspects that I've mentioned that you should analyze and follow the trend, what is happening in the expense, what is happening under the liability section. Okay. Adaptation to changing economic landscape. Don't forget to replay back what I've said if you did not jot in this video. Now, overall, the expectation of the examiner will expect you to demonstrate a thorough understanding. I've said that over and over. Answer the question clearly, concisely. That is, don't use too much words. Just marshal your points, because they have a lot of things to mark. Don't waste their time with much words. Okay? Analyze what you need to analyze, and when you are analyzing, don't be giving us alone information like is going up, is going down, is increasing from 2019 to 2022. Everybody can see that. Even though it's increasing, what is the driver? Why is it increasing? What makes it to increase? Marshal your point. Study it in the narrative, study it in the figurative under P&L or in the balance sheet or statement of financial position, and give the key words to us. That is, or those will give you stronger points to pass case study. I think I will be resting from here. You will agree it's been a long day, a long tutorial, and please, what you can do for us in GJAMES Associates is to share. First of all, ensure you like this video. Ensure you share. Ensure you subscribe. Gbenga Olatunji FCA has been speaking from GJAMES Associate channel. I will love to hear your testimonies as you become my professional colleague soon. Know yourself, know your reading habits, study hard, check those other resources that I've mentioned that you should look at. Check them. I've tipped you already on case study precinct, what you need to look out for, how you need to go about answering it. Please don't leave a stone unturned as touching what we've discussed. Those areas that I left for you because we could not go into detail so that it will not be too long. Go and study them. Play this video over and over again. Like I said, know your reading pattern, study to understand, study to remember, sleep well. Don't say because you are reading you will not sleep, because it's when you sleep that your brain can remember what you've learned. If not, if you are not sleeping enough, you will not remember what you've learned, even though you've exercised yourself and prepare. So your brain must settle down. You understand? Watch your health. Put everything in order when you are going there. Your pen, your pencil, your books. Know the area you are going, the location of your exams. Know it earlier so that you will not struggle to locate it and waste time. Get there early. Now you have a lot of options for transportation, which we do not have by that time. We use Molue. Now you can take Uber, right? So if those will be what it will cost you for now, do it and get shattered. When you're shattered, don't forget Gbenga Olatunji FCA. Send us audit clients, send us engagements. If you send me wine, of course, why not? Can buy gadget for us to do more of the videos. Just contact my office. Just contact me in whatsoever way you can appreciate the effort that GJAMES Associate is putting out. We will accept it as a gift and thank you. Okay? But after you qualify and after you've passed case study, please email me. Email me, not for anything. I derive joy in hearing people pass. Will you do that for me? Is that a promise? Put it in the comments, that's promise. So when you say promise, I know that you watch the video to the end. From GJAMES Associates, Gbenga Olatunji FC has been speaking. We are value to life. We are value to your businesses.